Hello beautiful people, my name is Vendi and I'm here to bring you my April TBR. Long time no see, am I right? You might recognize this look from my previous video, my March wrap-up, and if you can see over to the side here, I haven't yet even put away the books from that one. But I have a little bit of time to film today and the sun is actually out for once in Boston. Thank you. So I figured I'd take the opportunity and film my April TBR really quickly and just show it to you guys so you know what I'm going to be reading this month. Like my previous video said, I'm going to try to keep my videos a little shorter from now on, so I'm going to be explaining what these books are as quickly as I possibly can while still being coherent. Hopefully. As April is the last month of this semester for me, I'm going to be having a lot of projects and finals to do, so I decided that it might be best to keep this month's TBR a little bit on the shorter side, and without further ado, here it is. The first books that I want to read in the month of April are The Winter's Crime and The Winter's Kiss. These are books 2 and 3 in the Winter's Curse trilogy by Marie Rutkowski. As you can see, I'm already making my way through The Winter's Crime, so I'm not going to tell you what's been happening in The Winter's Crime so far because it would require some pretty major spoilers for The Winter's Curse. But if you haven't read The Winter's Curse yet, it's about Kestrel, who is the daughter of a Valoran general, and she lives in a colonized land called Haran, where the Harani, the conquered people, are basically a slave class. And Kestrel is a little more sympathetic to the plight of the Harani people than most Valorians are, but she doesn't really do much about their status as slaves. She sort of just is complicit in it until she befriends, shall we say, a Harani man named Aaron, and the story just kind of goes from there. I really love The Winter's Curse, and I'm working on a full series review, so first I have to read the rest of the series, am I right? So those are the first two things that I'm going to be getting to this month. After that, I want to read some nonfiction because I've been really interested in it lately, and I'm going to pick up To Be a Machine by Mark O'Connell. From what I can gather from the synopsis of To Be a Machine, Mark O'Connell is going to be exploring the idea of technology and what it means to be human in this day and age. As a person who's a little bit terrified of all the things that our technology can do these days, I think the best thing that I can do for my own mental state is to become a little bit more informed about the direction that technology is heading these days. So hopefully this will calm me down, and if it doesn't, I'll definitely be sure to let you guys know. I won this book from the publisher on an Instagram giveaway. They're Doubleday Books, and I will have their Instagram account linked down below as well as mine, so if you want to go check out pictures of books that I take, you can follow me on there. But yeah, I'm super excited to pick this up and hopefully to tell you guys all about AI. And then, because I will never, I think, finish this brick if I don't commit to doing at least one play a month, I'm going to be reading The Taming of the Shrew by William Shakespeare. I really love the movie from the 90s, 10 Things I Hate About You. You know the one I'm talking about. And just about any other adaptation of The Taming of the Shrew, I'm absolute trash for, so I'm really excited to dive into the source material. If at the end of the month I have a little bit more reading time than I anticipated, I'll probably get to the next play in this tome's order, which is King Richard II. I don't know anything about that one. I assume it's a history, and I tend to struggle a little bit with Shakespeare's histories. I either really like them or really don't, so we'll see how that one goes. After Shakespeare, I'm gonna get right back onto that young adult fantasy / historical retelling train. I don't know. It's a subgenre that I'm really enjoying lately, and the book I'm going to read is AntiDungeon by Kirsten White. AntiDungeon follows Lada, who is essentially a gender-bent Vlad the Impaler, and it follows her story as she goes around being a terrifying conqueror. If all goes to plan, I'm going to be buddy reading AntiDungeon with my friend Lou over at Books Are a Way of Life. Hi, Lou. If you haven't checked out her channel yet, I super recommend it. It's like mine but better. And I can't wait to dive into this book with such a lovely pal from overseas. If you're interested in buddy reading AntiDungeon with the two of us, let me know in the comments below and we'll create a Goodreads group or something, and it'll be a whole lot of fun because I want to hear all your guys' thoughts about this book because I think it's going to be absolutely phenomenal. So for AntiDungeon, you might be thinking that I'm super late to the game, but just you wait. There's a book to which I'm so late to the game that it's embarrassing, but I'm finally going to read it in April, and it is The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. If you're on BookTube, if you know what a book is, then you know that The Hate You Give follows Star Carter, a young black woman who has to see a friend of hers get shot and killed by the police. This book is essentially a portrait of the Black Lives Matter movement, and I'm so late to the game for it, but I'm finally gonna read it because Angie Thomas's new novel On the Come Up is coming out next year, and I want to have read at least one of her books so that I'm sort of on track for the Angie Thomas train, because I've heard she's a powerhouse of a writer, and I've heard this is a powerhouse of a book. The last book that I have planned to read in the month of April is 100 Years of Solitude by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. I've only ever read this in Spanish, and I've been told that the English translation loses some of the rich brilliance of Marquez's original words, but I've heard that Gregory Rabassa, the guy that translated this particular edition, does a really good job of translating the feel of the story, and I want to see it. I'm more or less fluent in Spanish, but I'm better at English, and I want to see if there's any elements to the story that I might have missed when it wasn't in a tongue that I am 100% familiar and comfortable with. 100 Years of Solitude is essentially the grandfather of magical realism, so if you're into magical realism, I highly recommend you pick it up, and if you speak Spanish, I highly recommend reading it in its original Spanish, because it was, oh god, it was such a beautiful story. This is one that I'll definitely be doing a full review for sometime in April. Let's get these guys out of the way. Yeah. Alrighty guys, this is my planned April TBR. Depending on how busy I am, the actual number of books read could be more or less than this, but if all goes to plan, it's gonna be pretty much this. Comment down below which book you think I should get to first. There isn't really an order to these books except for the other books in the Winter's Trilogy, because I'm binging the series and I'm really enjoying it, so I want to get those done. But as for the rest, comment down below telling me which one you think I should read next if you've read them, or just tell me your thoughts on any of these books, which will hopefully persuade me to pick one up over the other. Other than that, that's it from me. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. If you liked me, maybe consider subscribing. But until then, I'll see you next time, guys. Goodbye.